Hello and welcome to Visha Test Labs. So today we are going to see another interesting section on the testing levels. So let's get started. So on our previous videos, we have seen about testings and types of testings. So under the types of testing, we have seen about functional and non-functional testing. So today we are going to take functional testing and we are going to focus a main section that is testing level. And there are four types of testing under testing levels, and those testings are under the functional testings. So, what is the definition for testing level? I will have given a small, easy definition for you. So, testing levels are simply the stages in software testing which is applied when a product is being developed. So, in this, each level focuses on some different part of the system and the functionalities, how it's interacting with other components. So, let's get more deeper and see what are the four types of testing levels. All right, as you can see on the screen, it's like a kind of a pyramid which starts from base and it goes up by up, step by step. So the very first initial test level, we call it as the unit testing. Once you complete the unit testing, you move on to the next stage, that is integration testing. And once you complete the integration testing, we move on to the third level of testing, that is system testing. So once these three are completed, that means once you are completing each and every step, and if you are moving on to the system testing, and then you will have the hierarchy, that means the highest level of the system testing is user acceptance testing. So these four actually go from down to upward approach. That means you have to start with unit test, and then you have to go with integration, then system, and finally you have to do it user acceptance testing. So now let's take the very first thing, that is unit testing. So in unit testing, so once you can refer to the keyword unit in the heading. So unit generally refers to functionality or a module. So simply the definition for unit testing is this is where the test individually, that means we are going to test each and every functionality individually, isolating it with the interaction with the system. So let's assume and take an example as you're developing a car rental website. So if you take a car rental website, there will be plenty of components and modules or simply functionalities in that project, like login, logout. You will be having car renting, payment gateways, dashboards, etc. So let's assume is the bigger dark circle is the project, and within that we are taking four modules for the exploration purpose. The orange one, which I have marked in orange color, is the module that I want to select it out. So from the project, I'm taking one major functionality and I'm going to test that. So let's take it as login functionality. So normally in a website, car rental website, there will be login function. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to test that particular login function, whether it's accepting the login with the correct credentials and whether it should show me the error messages when I'm trying to log in with incorrect credentials. So this is simply what a unit testing is. You're going to test one particular module or one particular function, and I'll be isolating with other ones. So you're not going to interact with other things, just you're testing one particular function. I guess this image would have given you a clear idea about unit testing. Let's move on. All right. The second level, once we completed unit testing, is integration testing. So the term integration, I think, will give you an idea what it is, because earlier we have seen about unit, that means single module. So integration means we are going to combine those modules. Now refer to the definition. We test how different units or modules work together. So once we have tested the modules separately, we are going to integrate them and we are going to check how they are working when it's integrated, because while integrating, there can be new issues. Let's take the same example, the car rental website. And here I'm going to take two modules integrated. So I have shown it as in two orange colors. So I'm going to take it out two modules. All right. So with these two modules can be login and a dashboard function. So why I'm integrating is once I'm logging in with my correct credentials with my username and password, I would integrate it with the dashboard and check whether I'm redirected to the correct dashboard with my profile details. So I should check, because it should not redirect to another person's account. It should redirect to my own account. So that is what I'm going to test it, integration testing. So this image is again giving you a clear idea about what is integration testing. So now we have completed two levels of testings and we are going to move on to the third level. That is, so the word system testing itself is going to give you an idea, because we have tested units, we have tested those units integratedly. Then what is the remaining part in testing the entire system? So now when you see the definition, at this level, we test the entire system as a whole. So we are going to test the entire car rental website at one shot. So if you see the image below, I am testing all the modules because I have shown it in orange color. That means first module, second, third, there you go with the fourth one. So I'm going to test each and every module. That means I'm going to test the entire full system. That is system testing. So once integration is successfully tested, then you can go ahead with system testing because it goes on one by one, like step by step. You cannot directly go into system testing because there can be issues when integrating. So that's why we are following these testing levels. So this will help us to identify bugs easily, very early, to be honest. So now you have got an idea what is system testing. With that, let's move on to the fourth one. That is user acceptance testing. That is the final level in the hierarchy of test levels. Like that person who is testing that particular robot, user, the real client, who you are, like, or who you are developing to, will be testing the system. Now read the definition. So this is done to check if the software meets the business requirements, because the business requirements are given to you or as a developer by the client or someone or the authority. So once client gives your requirement, you have to prepare the entire development project as per their requirements. So normally the clients or the end users do the user acceptance testing. Once the user acceptance testing is done, and when the user gives you a green flag that you are good to go, then that's the end, and you can simply launch the product to the market, and everyone can happily use it. So this is how simply the testing levels goes on, and simply the testing follows from from the unit testing to integration system testing, and those three will be mainly done by developers and QAs, BAs. We have seen it in the previous videos, but when it's come to user acceptance testing, it's totally done by the clients or the end users who are going to use your product. So that gives the end to the testing levels. So as a final note, as always, if you have any doubts, please drop it in the comment box. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon if you want to learn more on the types of testing. Thank you.